Good morning. Today we are breaking out. So, let's see. Where do I think we are? We're after the first midterm, which means you know how to write functions, but not necessarily, like, software. I don't know. Bigger projects are supposed to be the current growth area. In support of writing bigger projects, you've gotten the graphics problem set, which went out last Monday, or maybe a little bit before that, and that's due tonight at midnight, and you probably had a section on that. And that, again, is back to sort of the thing that hopefully you're familiar with, which is just like writing a function here or there, right? Writing those functions here and there, one of those functions you write is you make the block pyramid, and one of them is either boxy click or clicky box, the one we didn't do in class. I don't remember which one's which. Both of those things are intended to set you up for the next project, which I'm introducing today, which is Breakout. Breakout's like famous or something. Is it? Here we go. Google doesn't work anymore. It's an Atari game from 1976. And this is what it looks like. And probably if I type in play Breakout. It's pretty easy to find examples of this on the internet. Whoa, that looks... It looked like there was a power-up or something. So anyways, this is Breakout. This is fun. Are we having fun?
We're having so much fun.
Ooh, I wonder what the plus does. Does it make me thick? Yes, it did. Okay. Oh, does this one make... Ooh, I don't know what any of these power-ups do. No! Okay. I feel powerful. Whoa! Okay, there's extra. We're done. That was fun. So that's Breakout. It's famous. It's the first game I remember playing on my neighbor's PlayStation when I was a kid. Because I wasn't allowed to play video games growing up because my parents were worried that I'd turn out as a computer scientist. They're very disappointed. I sent them a text this morning. I'm like, still am one, and they're like, didn't you want to become a lawyer, or whatever it is that your parents want you to do. Right, so problem set graphics is due today. Are those dates correct? I have so much data anxiety. Is it the 13th?
Yes.
It's like you add 7 to something and you just have no idea how different it is, right? Breakout is due next Monday. I am not particularly apprehensive about you only having a week on Breakout. Wordle, I thought there was like one kind of hard thing in there, keeping track of all the letters. Breakout is you sort of keep doing stuff, and at the end you have a breakout. It seems like a pretty nice assignment to me. It used to be the first assignment. It got moved back for Wordle. I'm kind of still a little partial to it. I don't really like strings that much. So I think it'll be kind of fun. Anyways, I'm going to walk you through Breakout today, and then I'm going to introduce timers. We do need timers on Breakout because things have to happen in real time. The block breaking game, I think it was inspired by ping pong. And in ping pong, because it's in real life, when I hit a ball with a racket, there's like some motion that happens over time, right? Looks like my webcam's on. That's kind of creepy. Does the sound still work? Yeah, okay. Anyways, in computers, that's not necessarily true. They can kind of just spin in place, or we can say, hey, this object moved from location X to location Y and then simply stopped. That's not possible physically. So we're going to introduce the notion of timers to say, like, hey, there's a universe that updates every 5 milliseconds or every 30 milliseconds. It's not going to be as smooth as real life where time, we perceive it as continuous, but we can make it go faster than our eyes, and so then it looks continuous to us. Breakout is split up over 5 milestones. And my impression... Oh, wait. Okay. Whose job was it to tell me those lights were on? We got some slackers in this class, and I don't know which one of you is the slacker. It's possible you're all the slacker. I hadn't previously considered that possibility. Okay, so does this look okay? Should I do anything with slides? I never know. Is the font too small? Is it too big? Do you not like white on blue? I don't know. Breakout is broken up over 5 milestones. you'll have already seen milestone 3, or milestone 1, which is due tonight, basically. And milestone 3 is covered in a section. I think I might have made that up. The sections change from time to time, so I might show it to you on Wednesday. I'm not 100% sure. Here's a fun fact. Do you all love all of the discussions we've had about the difference of starting lists at 0 or 1? So, anyways, on these slides, the original description of the assignment from like the person that published it started the milestones from 1, and then the people teaching it this term decided to start the milestones from 0, but we still link to the old milestones. So this slide is a slide called milestone 0 that describes milestone number 1. Anyways, milestone 1 or 0, depending on who you ask, is not that bad. It is very similar to block pyramid. In the breakout game, here, let's play breakout again. Let's see, I want to unfull screen this, which is function of 11. We'll split that. So in this game, one of the first things we'll notice is that there are blocks that are displayed in rows and columns. And perhaps at this point in time, you're like, wait, is this kind of like Wordle? And yeah, kind of. I don't know. So your first task is to display these blocks on the screen. Now, some of you may have noticed that I've spent the last 2 weeks saying grect every time I had a chance, right? grect. I also said I wrote a function that put rectangles on a screen. We spent a lot of time looking at rectangles. That was all to trick you into knowing how to do this problem set when we got here, right? So let me know if you've been bamboozled. But I suspect I got you. I get students almost every year with that one. And I'm recommending you have that done on Tuesday. None of you seem to follow my advice for when and how to do this stuff, and that's okay. You can do whatever you want. You're adults. But this does mean I reserve the right to be arbitrarily annoyed if on Monday night you say, hey, I'm worried I can't finish it on time, right? So really, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about me, right? Okay, so milestone 2, or milestone 1, the 1th milestone. This is slated to be done Wednesday. This is where you create another grect, and you place it at the bottom of the screen to serve as the paddle. And that's the ping pong style paddle. That's not like a rowing the river paddle, but I guess they could technically be the same type of paddle if you're really strong, right? The paddle is really interesting because it moves. And this is the first thing we're asking you to move dynamically. So the paddle is supposed to be attached to an event listener. Remember, we had click events. It's going to be attached to a mouse move event, so that when you move the mouse, you move the paddle. Now, I don't think this version over here does that. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, so see, we track the mouse. Some interesting things to look at here. When I move the mouse up and down, the paddle doesn't really move, and I can't move it directly up and down just because I have mechanical limitations as a human, but it tracks the mouse right and left. This online game version has some latency in it, but yours does not need to. It can follow it exactly as I'm able to show here. And we'll have an example of this following exactly in the slides that you can see as well. One other thing that's pretty interesting, and I can also demonstrate this, and I did not check before class that I was able to just type play breakout into Google and get a result, but they all do this. If I move my mouse off the screen, the paddle runs into the edge there, but does not itself go off the screen. So that is another feature you want to preserve. As you're thinking about that, you might be thinking, I don't know what you're thinking, you might be thinking, wait, is that just an if statement where I check an x value and see if it's in a range? Yes. So write the code that does that. This thing is 6 lines of code. This thing is 6 lines of code. If you do it in more than 6, it's fine, right? But the level of complexity is basically, oh, there's a mouse move, there's a rectangle, there's an if statement, right? The next milestone, which we're calling milestone 2, which I'm recommending you're working on Thursday, is to add a ball. Versus this implementation over here, they put the instructions in the middle of the screen because they don't think it's 1976 anymore and people don't intuitively understand Breakout, right? The older generations were wiser and more powerful than us, and they just instantly understood video games by looking at them, right? Now we don't understand that because our games are too hard. So, for Breakout, you are intended to start the ball in the center of the screen, not on the paddle. And then, when you click the mouse, the ball is supposed to start bouncing around. So, we can demonstrate this. Here's the ball just bouncing around. So this is what you're supposed to do. Now, versus this game, which is complete, the sort of version of this we're recommending for Milestone 2 is you just bounce off of every wall, and then you figure out how to deal with different walls later. There's a lot of things that you can bounce off of, and we'll go over the sort of mathematics of how to bounce things today, actually. At least I think it's today. For Milestone 4, which is actually Milestone 3, which is meant to be done on Friday, or be done by midnight on Friday. So how many of you are going to go out and do something funner than write code on Friday? Put those hands right down, right? That's embarrassing. You don't want people to know that you have a social life, right? What was I doing on Friday? None of your business. Okay, I was not writing code, but it is none of your business. Okay, have you all heard of Invent Animate?
No.
They're like the most self-serious metalcore band I've ever seen.
And I wonder what you were doing on Friday.
They happen to be in Portland on Friday.
Unrelated.
Oh.
It's completely unrelated. Anyways, I don't know if I think they're good or not. My partner was like, we want to see Invent Animate. And I was like, do we? Anyway, so I was writing code at home on Friday night. But there's this other problem in Portland where it's very hard to select bands where you go there and everyone there is your age, because you don't want to be with only like 60-year-olds or 14-year-olds, right?
Only 60-year-olds or 14.
So at the Invent Animate concert, everyone was exactly 32 years old.
Wow.
They were carding us. They were like, oh, 33, you got to go across the street and watch Bad Omens instead, right? It's like, oh, 31, back to TikTok for you, young whippersnapper, right? So everyone there was exactly 32 years old. Wait, am I? I actually don't remember how old I am. Okay, presumably 32, but okay. So, some of you who are way ahead of me may have noticed by now that in the version of Breakout that we know and love, when I do a clickaroonie, or how do I start this thing? Oh, apparently you press space in this game. Wait, it's just not working? Okay, I can't use my mouse anymore. There's collisions that occur, and there's different types of collisions. So, if the ball bounces off of a block, the block disappears, and the ball ricochets. So the ball changes direction. If you look at this closely and try and watch it around times when it bounces, it will change direction in like one of two dimensions, right? So this paddle is a little bit different than the paddle you're implementing, I think. But let's see if I'm good enough at this game to hit a block. So when I hit the block, I had a horizontal rate of displacement. I was going up, and I had no, that's vertical. I had a vertical rate of displacement and a horizontal rate of displacement, right? The horizontal rate of displacement remained constant as I bounced off the block, so I sort of went up. Let's see if I can track this. So I went up and then back down. And the vertical rate of displacement exactly reversed in direction. So I was going the same speed up and down, but I was going in a different direction up and down. So if we're thinking about this carefully, that sounds an awful lot like you're moving a fixed amount in x and a fixed amount in y, but you're only changing the sign. Okay. That's how we implement collisions. And the other thing you do with collisions is you have to remove rectangles from the screen. I don't think we've removed rectangles that many times, but hey, I trust you to figure out how to do that. There's probably like a GW.remove. The final milestone, and this is basically your victory lap, so you get to do this over the weekend while you're at home writing code because you don't have a social life, right? Or you can do it in a panic on Monday night, shortly before turning it in, is to just implement sort of the final gameplay things. So, what happens when the ball hits the bottom wall? Well, in this case, the ball disappears, I lose one of my lives, and then I get to play again, and if the ball hits the bottom screen too many times, then I perish. Oh no, I am deceased, right? Not in real life, just in the game. So that's what you do if the ball hits the bottom wall. Give the user 3 chances to remove bricks. Okay, what are the 3 chances? Okay, well, here's one chance. Oh no, I didn't perish all the way, I just lost one of my extra lives, right? So there'll be some lives tracker or something. Perhaps a variable that contains a number between 0 and 3. I don't know. Could be implemented anyways. I don't know how people are going to do this, right? Check for the other terminating condition, which is removing the last brick. I'm not going to attempt to beat Breakout in front of all of you. Do you know how hard video games get when people watch you? It's crazy, right? So I'm not going to pretend I can beat Breakout. Maybe if we have time at the end of class, I'll play Breakout in front of all of you. And I'll do like reaction streamer, like, like that stuff or whatever they do these days. And then you're supposed to test your program to see if it works. You don't have to do that because as soon as you start playing Breakout, that makes you a gamer. I can't require you to become a gamer, right? But what you can do is you can give this to someone else and make them play it, right? So while you're hanging out on a Friday night with all your friends that you do have, right? Wink, okay, right? You can make them play test your game, okay? If you really want to stress them out, I learned this trick where every time the ball bounces, you increase its speed by like 2%. That causes people's blood pressure to get so high. So I wouldn't do that, but you might. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about Breakout? I can probably find the actual instructions and look at them for you. Let's see if I'm clever enough to do that. Okay. You will not see this. I don't think. Well, maybe you will. The introduction. Oh, you might have some questions about the portable graphics library, so I've linked a few people's notes on that. So here's stuff you might need. Okay. Your description of Breakout with some images. Here's the starting template code. You'll notice there's like a lot of nonsense here. You're not scared of this because I gave a lecture where I showed how you can just turn all of these things into single lowercase letters and just do whatever you want with them, right? So this can't scare you and it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't matter how many lines this is, right? And I think if I took this... Oh, I can't open Twitter, can I? It's X, the Everything app. Okay, since Twitter no longer exists, we can't tell if this is 140 or 280 characters, but I bet it is. I bet that's smaller than one social media post. So I trust that you can read it, because I know the New York Times claims everyone our age and younger, they think I'm the same age as you, does nothing but scroll Instagram all day, right? Which means we can read this much text, okay? Oh my gosh, there's even more. Okay, maybe New York Times is right about us. Okay, and then down here, what do we have going on? We just have Breakout, we window, and then if main, we break out. I can probably just run this. Do I need to run this? I don't know. I'm recommending looking at the factor lecture, which I think, did that link not work? That's crazy. Okay, too bad. Here's the bricks. These bricks are made in the other language, JavaScript, but not too bad. This is 10 across, 10 down. They're wider than they are tall, and you change color every 2 rows. So perhaps you see what row you're on and divide by 2, and then use that to see what color you should use. I don't know. Maybe you could do something like that. That would be kind of crazy if you did that. It would be, pretty cool. So here's a possible way to do that. Implement the paddle. Not too bad. Maybe I should collect these. These things are wrong because I changed the address, which is kind of annoying, but okay. So this is specify Wednesday. Then you make the ball bounce around. We'll go over that on Wednesday as well. Okay. Who in here is scared of math? Right? Yeah, you keep that hand down, right? So many of you, again, I was reading, what's a newspaper? I was reading the Washington Post, right? And it was like, the kids these days, they're scared of math. That's what it said in there. That's what the people are saying about you out there, right? I was walking to class today, and I heard, we'll just call them a hater. A hater was like, the kids these days, they can't do geometry, right? You got to prove that person wrong, right? I didn't ask. I'll ask. Next time I see a hater, I'll be like, can you even do geometry, right? Geometry is not that scary. But here is one way to think of checking collisions on the ball. You check each of the 4 corners of the square enclosing the ball. If one of those 4 corners hits one of the outer walls, or one of the bricks, or the paddle, then you change the direction of the vertical motion. Did that sound like a lot? No, that sounded like a for loop over 4 cases, 1, 2, 3, 4, with an if statement where if you see something, you change a y value, basically. Okay. This is how I'm recommending to do it. You can do whatever you want. Okay. And then the last thing is nothing matters. So you can finish the game. But by the time you've done all the hard stuff, finishing the game will take like a couple minutes. Okay, that's Breakout. And with that, I don't know. I guess we'll just start class. Anyone have any funny jokes? No? Okay. Do I know any funny jokes? Nope. I don't have anything. Okay. I guess we'll just write code. Same thing we did in the privacy of our home by ourselves on Friday night, right? So here is I think where we left off last time. And I'm going to take this code and I'm going to put it in VS Code. And then we're going to take a look at it. VS Code. What is that? That's scary looking. Oh, it's HTML. Okay. Open folder? I was working on my resume? Okay. I guess you should probably all be doing that too. Yes, get jobs. Oh my gosh, it's not that bad. What is happening? Wait, it's all coming in as one line. Look at that. Why is it doing that? I copied something wrong. Please. There we go. No module named PGL. Really? Really? I was sure Piggle would have PGL in it. It's right there. Oh, let's try this. Okay, there we go. There's Piggle. Okay, and so what's going to happen here in Piggle? Well, I got my 400 by 400 window. Apparently I'm going to make a 400 by 400 box. That seems quite large. Oh no, it's starting off the screen, right? So it's starting down here. I set the box filled and I set the box pinked, and I'm going to add the box to the graphics window. When there's a click, I'm going to get the X and Y location of the clicks, and then I'm going to set the box's location of the X and Y location. So when I click here, a box is going to appear. It's going to be of size 50 by 50, so it's going to be 1/8 of the size of my screen. And it's going to appear with its top left corner at my mouse click location, and it's going to be pink. All of this is very small. Let's make it in bigger. Let's make it 150. Okay. There we go. What is happening here? I am demonstrating how you can move an object around your graphics window. This is the same object every time. We only created one box, and we are only moving it once. This could, for example, become a goval. And were it to become a goval, it would begin to look conspicuously like the ball that is bouncing around in Breakout, that perhaps can bounce off the top of the screen and then steadily move down to another corner, and then bounce again, bounce, whatever, right? So, this code, which we worked on Friday, before staying at home and not going out, right, shows us how we can have one object moving around the graphics window screen. Does anyone want to ask me any questions about this, or are we completely locked in? Okay, I think we're completely locked in. I'm getting locked in vibe.
Yeah, I can't read that.
You can't read any of it.
Thank you.
That might be too much.
I think that's good.
I'm just thinking about the angles here.
Yeah. They don't help.
Hold on, we're going to do an experiment.
There's a little rough.
That's horrible. Who made you sit here?
I have your stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say, often
See,
that's
that's the tech. This is what you're supposed to
I've
do.
done it before, I didn't do it this time.
This is how I get my viewers.
Your ad revenue.
You also get viewers when I'm sick.
I think, yeah. Okay. So, can those of you that can see the screen tell what's going on? Yeah? Okay, all right. And if you can't see the screen, follow on, or I almost said Twitch. Follow on YouTube, folks, right? Okay. So, I think that's where we left off. For Breakout, we have an additional challenge, which is that we need something to move on its own. When we set it in motion, it must continue to move without the presence of clicks or anything else. So how are we going to do this? Rather than going where we click or when we click, we're going to make a floaty box. The box is going to move some number of pixels every so often, every time interval, every time a timer goes off. So this box is identical to me. Every day at between 6 and 8 a.m., my alarm goes off, and then I start moving. And then I continue moving until I hit a wall, usually at 10 p.m., when I crawl back into my bed and my cat lies on top of me, and then I can't move for 12 hours, right? So we're going to mimic that with a box. And this box is just like me for real. So how are we going to do this? There's a lot here, folks, okay? But we're awesome, and so we're not scared of anything we see here. So we're just going to get it to work. I'm going to copy paste this in, but we're gonna build it up over time, okay? So let's take time func. Okay. I probably don't need this open anymore. Okay. Okay. So this is going to be pretty similar to what we have already. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Can I split right? Okay. It did it again. It did the annoying thing. Okay. So, close this. Okay. We're going to take time func and these things. Okay. I'm going to cut off the comments. Okay. So, what do we have going on here? These things look quite similar to us, probably. We'll bump this down to line 4. This was in line 9. And this was on line 12 and line 17. So I can line these up, and we can take a look at what is similar and what is different about the timing-based and the click-based code. So, just the same as with clicks, we're going to write a function that's going to change something. What's it going to change? Well, when I clicked, I got the x and y values of the click location, and I updated the location of the box to that location. With the time function, I'm doing something a little bit differently. I have a value that I call gw.x. This is the x location of my box. There are other ways to do this. This is how I'm demonstrating it. And then I'm going to still set the location, but I'm going to keep the default y location, which is that the vertical location? Mm-hmm. So it's going to stay in the middle of the screen, but its x location is going to increase, so it's going to get further and further from the rightmost wall. It's going to go this way to you. I'm trying to do the mirror. Does that seem right? It's going to go. Okay. We're going to create a window of size 400. Then what are we going to do within our window? Well, the same way we created and stored GW box, we're going to create and store two things. We're going to store an X location, which is where the ball is going to start, and also a ball, which is too small. Then we're going to add the ball to the graphics window, and then instead of adding an event listener, which listens for clicks, we're going to set an interval, just like I set an interval with my alarm clock, and every 20, and I believe these are milliseconds, but it doesn't matter what they are, something is going to happen. So I'm going to take this code and I'm going to bring it over here, and it's totally going to work. Oh, that kind of did work, huh? Look. Ah! Oh, it's going off the screen. Oh, it's a disaster. It's horrible. Okay. It kind of seems like we should mess around with this a little bit and see what happens, doesn't it? Okay, fine. I'll do it. But only because you're making me. Okay, so let's set gwball.set filled true. Does anyone like a color other than olive drab or hot pink?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a question before?
Yeah. What is set interval doing?
It's setting the alarm clock, and every time the alarm goes off, the graphics window is going to do this.
Okay.
So this is the daily grind, and this is how often the day happens.
Okay. So that like your inputs for set interval are what it should do.
What it should do and how often.
20 milliseconds or
I believe it's milliseconds. But we can kind of look at it. Does that look like it's updated every 20 milliseconds? Because I think it does. It's pretty fast, right? Why is that window so small? And there's a very easy way to see if what happens when we change these values, at least. So let's put a 5 here, and it goes faster. So that would be like if I set my alarm to go off at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., right? Just grinded twice as hard. Some other things that might be interesting here. It might be interesting to start the X off of the screen, which we can do by starting it at -150. And then it comes onto the screen because it's of width 150. And then we can set the fill color. Color's probably fine. I'm kind of feeling turquoise today. Anyone? Is that how you spell turquoise?
Or is it an O?
An O before the U? Turquoise? It's turquoise?
No.
It's like super fucked up shit, though.
Y'all are... Okay, that's also illegal. Hold on. Turquoise.
T-U-R.
First try.
Did you mean
Oh, turquoise.
How could we not have known it was turquoise? Then we're going to find out turquoise isn't a color either. Oh no, there it is. It's pretty good looking turquoise, I think, right? Yeah. Of the turquoises I've seen, way up there.
It's almost blue.
I don't know if I'd go that far. Those might be fighting words. Yeah, so no. Thank you for playing. Okay. I think it is fun to go fast and bounce off of walls. Oh no, I forgot there was an elaborate skit I like to do. Okay. Oh, what a beautiful turquoise. I sure hope it doesn't run into the far wall and disappear. Ah! Okay. Well, that hurt. Okay, so we're going to prevent that from happening. And how are we going to prevent that from happening? Well, if this X value gets too high, what we should do is instead of increasing it, we should decrease it. So how are we going to do that? Well, so we can say if X is greater than, I don't know, let's just put a number in here for now and see what happens. I'm just going to go in the middle. So if it's greater than 400, we're going to do GWX minus equal 1. Do you know what minus equal means? I'm setting GWX equal to GW.X minus 1. Okay. And then otherwise, we're going to increase. Okay? Does that make sense? What do we think is going to happen? It's going to bounce at 400. What? Sure. That's sufficiently specific. Okay. Oh, what a beautiful turquoise. I hope it doesn't smash into the far wall. Oh. Oh, it's not doing anything.
Oh, that makes sense. Yes.
Does it make sense?
We didn't set the ball location.
We didn't set the ball location. But we're setting it right here.
Well, also, it sees that it's at 400, then it goes backwards, and it sees it's less than 400, then it goes forward. So it's
Oh,
technically
no.
before the tiny bit.
We have to do calculus.
Oh, God.
I love calculus. Oh, I'm so glad you're all here today while we're doing calculus. So what we need to do is we need to set an x velocity. And we'll set it equal to 1. All right. Okay, it's physics. Yeah. Physics is applied calculus. Okay. So we're going to set the x velocity. The only thing we're going to do here now is we're going to change gw.x plus or equal the velocity. And let's just get rid of this for now. Oh, what a beautiful turquoise ball. I hope it doesn't smash into the far wall and just... Okay. Sorry, if that sound is causing you anxiety, I'm sorry. It's completely involuntary. So what actually is going on here is if GWX is greater than 400, what we really want to do is we want to change the velocity. So that's easy. It equals the negative velocity. And I think we don't do anything otherwise. Okay. So, what's happening here? Our x value is changing at some rate, and we're not going to say the C word, calculus. We're not going to say the C word, computer. We're going to say the C word, coincidence. It's a coincidence that it's moving at some rate. C word, Calvin. Yes. Not really a word, because it's do not play Calvin in Scrabble. So we have our velocity. I'm going to slow this down a little bit, because it's hard to do my skit. And so we're going to change the x by whatever the velocity of x is. And the velocity has some sign. Okay. I wonder what's going to happen here. Okay, this doesn't seem so bad so far. I sure hope it doesn't collide with the far corner. Oh my gosh, it bounced back in the middle. At least it's not going to run into that wall and be destroyed. No! Okay, what did we learn? I'm worried you're not learning anything because I'm being too silly. And that's... Let's cause this to bounce off the far wall. And how are we going to do that? This is a ball of size 150, and it is a window of size 800.
I don't quite understand the reason velocity changes.
I'm changing where the x is by the velocity.
Okay.
And so if the velocity is positive, x is increasing, and if velocity is negative, x is decreasing.
Why is that different than it was before?
Previously, I was increasing until I got to 400, and then I was decreasing at 400. But what was happening is it was going 399, 400 back and forth, and we couldn't see it because it was a single pixel change. Maybe a fun way to do this is to just print all this stuff. This is how speedometers were invented. So this is going to go up to 650, then it's going to bounce back, and our velocity is -1. Ah! Okay. It's still going, by the way. It's just off the screen. Okay. So, how do I keep this on the screen? No problem. If gw.x is less than 0, reverse the velocities again. I'm having to start the ball on the screen now, so I'm starting at location x, but that's not too bad. Okay. I sure hope this ball bounces back and forth on my screen forever, because I don't want to lose it. So far, we're safe. Oh, what a relief. Maybe this time it'll... Oh, okay. We're fine. I wonder what's going on down here. Oh, I can look at what's happening. Okay, so we hit 0, and the velocity changes. So I then am adding 1. And then when I hit, I think it's 650, I'm going to start subtracting 1 from the x location. So this is just going up and down between those two values every 10 milliseconds, we think. Okay. Anyways, that's what this is. Oh, that's crazy. How do we do that? So, it turns out, and this is some pretty advanced stuff, there's actually more than one dimension. A lot of people haven't heard of it, but there's this other dimension called y. It's the subject of this song. Tell me why. And it's also the subject of a video game.
Cool.
It's an LGBTQ game, and I'm not going to comment on that on stream. Okay, so we can add the y values to this. Tell me why. Okay, let's start our y at the same location, and let's start our y velocity. You know what? I'm a big believer in upward social mobility, right? I think people should be able to go as high as they want. And so I'm going to set my Vy value much higher than my Vx value. I'm going to set it twice as high. I'm going to set it to 2, okay? Should I go higher than 2?
2.1.
Stay humble.
Okay, we're staying humble. Okay. Well, that doesn't look too bad. And then probably the only thing I have to do up here is, well, I should print all this stuff, right? gw.y plus equals gw.vy. And I bet this will work, right? I probably don't need to change anything else about this. It definitely won't go off the top or anything. Also, by the way, this should have been gw.y, but that's okay. So I bet this will be fine. I bet I don't have to write all these if statements again. I don't even remember what those if statements do. Oh, wow. Oh, nothing's happening. I wonder why nothing's happening even though I'm setting the location to exactly 200 every time. Do we think that couldn't be related, could it?
No.
Oh, that's crazy. It was related. No! That didn't feel evil at all to me. It felt invested. I'm just going to change all these to y's. And at this point in time, you're probably thinking, why are you updating so many places when you can just say this? Did y'all catch that? Okay. I'm just reversing the direction in either case. So I only have to check that one of these two things is true.
Wouldn't that be both?
Yeah, so or. Does that seem fine? Ooh, we're never going to know if it works. Wait. Is it working?
Oh, it hit the corner. That's crazy.
It hit the corner. I wonder if it hit the corner because the Vy value is a multiple of the Vx value.
Probably not.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's pick two coprime values. That might be too fast. Is this too slow? I never know how fast to go on these things. Well, if I didn't know better, I'd think that was an incident at exactly the ratio between the x and y values.
But then it hits.
And then it's gonna do that.
Oh, it's going to hit the corner again?
That's great. And then do the exact same thing.
Oh, well, this isn't that exciting at all.
Pick weird numbers.
All numbers are weird.
Pick numbers that don't go together.
Always.
That's almost visible.
Yeah, but not quite, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's almost as close. Getting further right. Way faster.
Is E in there, do you think?
Math.
Probably not. That'd be crazy. Also, I'm getting tired of how slow this is.
Yeah.
So I think this is calculus.
We did it. Go ahead.
This is
that was
fun
almost
math.
the corner.
Okay, we know it wasn't the corner because that would mean that pi and E have a common multiple. And they're both transcendental.
So it was like really close.
It could have been within a
Eventually
rounding
we'll hit
error.
the corner because we're
If-
only still
That was
up
like-
to finite precision. It might take a while.
Well, but we don't know that any of the finite precisions are going to round in that direction.
Eventually they'll round in
Well, no, because we're looping through a finite number of values, right? We don't know what the finite values are.
Yeah.
Because just because we're putting in an infinite series doesn't mean it's going to produce an infinite number of internal values, right? It's going to occur at high probability, but deterministically at high probability. Yeah. Well, that was fun. Is everyone having fun?
We should have a second.
Wait, did you say we should add a second ball?
I think that'd be fun.
Oh, okay. Well, we can probably do that.
That's harder.
GW.ball. No, we're going to call this one box.
We're just doing it because it's or like if we were to do like
Let's see. Let's set this filled. True. Let's set the color.
Also turquoise.
I'm not putting in also turquoise.
What about all of them?
Negation of we're looking up the negation of turquoise.
Quick orange or something?
it's gonna be a shit ton.
It is not turquoise. What's the hex in turquoise?
Okay, turquoise hex code. Okay, so instead of this, which I can't even see, what are we going to do? Or no, it'll be easier to actually look at the hex. Okay. So we're just going to negate these. Okay, so the negation of 4 is 12, which is C, C, F, 1, F, 2F. Octothorpe.
That's whole now.
Yeah, that's what I was asked to do. I didn't add it. Okay. GW.add, GW.box.
Yeah, it's like a
Oh, it's not moving? Oh, I really thought it was going to move. Okay, not to worry.
You can make it a different size, too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, what size do you want?
Smaller.
Smaller? Half? Do you want it to update on the same time scale or a different time scale?
faster.
Faster? Okay. I'm only going up to 2. Other funk. Okay. And then what are we going to do? This is 8. Yes, correct. When you're right, you're right. You should say it. Oh no, am I going to have to make new VXs and VYs for this? Does it? Or is that awesome? It's a great question. What happens if I don't?
That one just moves more.
So,
You just moves that one twice.
if they have the same X and Y values, they're going to be in the same place. So I can't bounce them separately. Do you want to bounce them together? And because this one is supposed to be smaller. So, let's see. Other funk is only updating the location of ball, but what if we update the location of box? So they're all bouncing together, right? Doesn't that look great? So this is actually going several times faster because I'm updating the same thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not to worry, I have a plan. You just slap 2s at the end of all these things. Wow. That was great fun. Let's reverse these. Let's do pi and e. Okay. 2. 2. I think we decided or. Have to put 2s everywhere. Wait a minute. I think I'm bamboozling myself.
Did you just replace it instead of copying it?
I don't have any idea what I'm doing, but thank you for asking. These 150s should be 75s because that's how big the ball location is. Oh, you know what I should do? Ball size should be 150 and box size should be 75. I was going to abbreviate both of those BS, which I cannot do. Okay. So this should be box size. And then these just need all 2s on them. Is this gonna work?
That's crazy. We did-
Oh, I think I'm supposed to say science rules now. Is that right?
we did.
That color is kind of not the mood, though. The anti-turquoise, it's
Well, I
mid.
like that it's faster and it's red.
Well, red things are faster, yeah. Okay.
As we all know.
When you were bouncing together, it kind of looked like an olive.
That reminds me of my favorite color.
What do you think? Do you think we can make them intersect with each other?
Bounce off of each other.
Ooh,
That'd be fun. What I'm here for.
Well, like, make them bounce off of each other like good, or make them bounce off of each other like bad?
Probably bad. I think good is like physics and literature.
Well,
Is this? Are they bouncing off of each other? I can't tell.
Effectively.
They like are unlike. Oh no, there was definitely an incidence there.
There's some shifting happening.
Yeah. See,
Oh, it bounced off each other. It was only from one direction. It looks like.
it's specifically if the upper right corners intersect, it bounces, and not
It
otherwise.
is working.
Yeah.
Technically. Oh.
It's also bouncing multiple times as it passes through,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
and it's only bouncing in the x dimension, I guess. We can make it bounce in both dimensions.
There's only one of them bouncing too.
Yeah, I'm only bouncing the small one because it has a less kinetic mass.
Yeah, as we all know.
Everyone knows how
Whoa,
physics works.
whoa.
See, it's sticking because it's bouncing around inside.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Why do we do this?
So this is what you want us to do for Breakout, right?
Yeah,
This is breakout.
it's not breaking out.
It's stuck.
Wow, this is like
It's just broken.
Then if
extremely
you're-
fun to watch.
it's not breakout, it's just it's not breakout, it's broken.
It's broke out.
They bounce out.
Okay.
Nothing else.
There's also a free bonus component of lecture, which is the mouse move event. So what if instead of other funk, we just we do a set event listener, and we still call it other funk, but we do it on a mouse move. Do I think I do the mouse move first or second? I bet it's here. It would make sense that we would say mouse move first and the time interval second, so I'm not going to comment on the design of this library. Okay. So I think, wow, it's still going? Oh, that makes sense. Wait, I know what I can do. For the rest of the semester, I can just leave this open on one side of my screen and then do everything on the other side.
It's like,
And then you'll look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like Subway Surfer something.
Yeah, it's the Subway Surfer TikTok I've wanted the whole time.
Have you ever thought about having a project called Subway Surfers?
I have never thought about anything.
That's impressive.
It's not easy.
It's basically like doing this.
Okay. So this isn't capturing the mouse move yet. Why is it not? Oh, okay. No, GW box set location. What's wrong? Did I add it? Let's see. I would have expected this to work. Okay. Oh, let's get rid of all these things. Okay. Box added.
Is it one of those things where you have to click into the window to start it?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I gotta stop printing up here because I can't see
Close
anything.
it and reopen it.
Oh no, it's I spelled this wrong.
My favorite.
It's add event listener. There we go. Okay, so now we want to trigger the bounce on the ball. Okay.
Right, you have to do the bounce in the ping pong.
Yes. Or GW dot, it was like get element at? Yeah. GW dot X, GW dot Y. And let's bounce in both dimensions, because we like excitement. No way is that right. It's fine. Bounce. Bounce! Bounce!
No, this is breakout.
This is Breakout.
Why is it only bouncing on the top right corner? That's crazy. I wonder if there was... That can't be right. I feel like I saw something about that earlier today.
Maybe part of breakout.
Do you think it was part of Breakout? Oh! Does that look like exactly what I would need for this to be good?
Almost.
I do agree with almost. I don't know. What if I can just hold it on top of it? If you've got really good mechanics, you can just track the ball exactly. Let's see.
If you're
I've actually made an aim trainer. It has nothing to do with breakout.
Do I look like a coward? who insulted me? Okay. Does one of you want to come play this before class gets out?
You should send in the Discord so we can all play.
This is the
There we go. Got it.
It's moving too fast.
All right. Well,
Gets out, is that Breakout?
It's like a game of cat and mouse.
this is break in. So I'm not going to post this code in the Discord because you can write it yourself in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Spent all class on it.
Yeah, but I was being a silly goose the entire time. Okay, I'll post it in Discord, but only because you asked nicely. See you Wednesday. Have a nice day. Enjoy Breakout. I thought this was fun, you know?
It is also fun. We'll be posting this lecture.
Can I move a little bit?
Can't wait for
So you can move as long as the circle is on the top corner.
desperately trying to fix my breakout.
Why is it so hard? This is so hard. Ah, I got it, and then I choked.
I woke up
Thank you. What is happening? There we go.
Whoa! What? And they said Alvin didn't have moves. The haters now.
The haters are eating good today.
No, the haters are starved. They're famished. They're going on fast.
They're on hunger strike
Yes.
because they have nothing to hate.
Have a good one.
Take care.
About one of the requirements for the portal.
Okay.
I don't understand what she means by this part. What word I actually should have had on the bottom.
Shit, you're gonna have to ask your section leader that.
Okay, because I was like, I
Yeah.
have no idea what I did wrong.
Yeah, let me. It's meant to show the original hidden word. So they're supposed to be guessing, but it actually shows the version of the hidden word used for replacing. I think that is meant to suggest there's an internal variable that you're updating, but I don't know.
I'll ask her then.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, good work. That looks pretty good. Did y'all notice I beat the game that I made in class? It's still there. My computer is getting hot. I'm gonna win. I think this computer will go out before I will.
Mine was acting really slow, but I'm hoping it'll just fix itself when I restart it.
Probably.
But I would put it on speed tuner, and it would move faster when I would move my mouse, which was really interesting.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Just use 20 for everything.
Okay.
The reason this is a much more powerful computer than I had last year. That's why I could turn it up so much. But, yeah.
This is something
Look at that. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh no. Okay. All right. Typical L.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Take care.